So welcome everyone. Thanks so much for being here. As I mentioned just a minute ago, my name is Mary Eleanor Power. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Faculty of Open Learning and Career Development. And I am so delighted to be here today and congratulate all of you and host this virtual celebration of lifelong learning. And recognize that so many of you who are joining us took the time and put in the effort to complete a certificate with our faculty. And we really just want to recognize your efforts and offer some virtual congratulations and applause for you on all of those efforts. I would like to begin by acknowledging that Dalhousie University is located in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq. We are all treaty people. And I also want to recognize that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kma'ki, known as Nova Scotia, for over 400 years. And I'm so delighted to have a few people joining us from Dalhousie and also outside of Dalhousie. We have a bit of an agenda today that I wanted to walk you through. In walking through that agenda, I also just want to introduce some of our special guests who are joining us. First, before I do that, I do want to begin by acknowledging my colleague and really the master of putting all of this together, Valeria Adriazola, who is our manager of community events, who is with us in our boardroom. And she pulled together this event. I'm sure that many of you have been in touch with her, and just want to offer, before we jump in, just a huge thanks and congratulations for her in bringing us together today. So I do want to begin by offering a welcome to Kim Brooks, Dr. Kim Brooks, who is with us, who is our acting vice provost for the university. And also as a professor of law and professor of accounting. And I'm just really happy to have you with us, Dr. Brooks. And I'll offer just a little bit by way of a bio, because I love your bio on the Dalhousie website. And if you can indulge me, I'd love to share a little bit of that. Dr. Brooks is really just so passionate about learning. And in her bio describes that she's most happy when a student proclaims that they went home, was talking to their roommate, parent, or neighbor about some issue that came up in class, and then explains with commitment why they now agree or disagree with the position they expressed in class. And I think just that curiosity that she brings to the classroom is really inspiring. And as well loves the study and practice of law and interested in public policy in general. Obviously, as a background in law, Kim, I welcome your message of congratulations to the group, and over to you.
Well, thanks. I just wanted to do a couple of things with folks this afternoon. First, to bring greetings from Dalhousie as a whole, and to say how excited and proud we are of the work that you've been doing with the Faculty of Open Learning. The second thing is to say that we have been, this marks for me at least the end of a couple of weeks of various convocation and celebration events, and it's kind of exciting to end at this place. And it's exciting to end with you, because one of the things that was striking in so many of the convocation speakers I've heard over the last 2 weeks is their really profound emphasis on the importance of a lifelong learning orientation, and that, there probably was never an era where you could have one narrow deep dive into, or one narrow in terms of time, deep dive into a subject matter and then find the rest of your life unfolded perfectly without any other advanced education. But it sure has become the case that people are increasingly needing to find formal and informal ways to stagger and grow and upskill and reskill, and also just feed our kind of constant curiosity. And so it does seem so perfect to me that this is the kind of culminating point, I guess, in my couple of weeks of getting a chance to spend a bit of time with graduates and their families and friends and folks who have completed courses with us. So So, you're on exactly the right track, and you're doing the things that everyone is urging, that we all do over the course of our lives. So thank you for that. And then third, just to say thank you so much to our Faculty of Open Learning. I know that they're so committed to providing an exceptional experience and education, and they work so hard to be able to bring that to you. And I'm enormously grateful, as I hope you are, for their time and effort. And so I'm going to, I think with that, just wish you a very warm congratulations. I'm going to put my email in the chat just because I'd love to hear a little bit about your stories if you feel interested in doing that. And otherwise, thank you, Diane and the Faculty of Open Learning, for inviting me to be a small part of this.
You being here, and we're so happy to have your email address there if people would want to reach out to Kim. I'm sure she would love to hear from you. And now I'm going to do something a little bit different. And that's because our dean, Dr. Diane Tyers, is unwell and is without a voice. And so I am going to, so Diane is there, and I'm sure would want to say all of what I'm going to say, but I'm going to read her message on her behalf. And I'll just offer a little bit of an introduction to Diane. And so she, as I mentioned, is our Dean of the Faculty of Open Learning and Career Development. And I'm enjoying sharing bios that are a little bit both on the academics, but also a little bit about the person themselves. So Diane has an MBA and MA from the University of Queensland, Brisbane, an MBA from the Ivey School of Business, and she's a fellow of the Business Excellence Institute. But Diane is also an avid tennis player, hiker, and beach explorer. And I would also add is a lifelong learner herself, and has taken many of our courses through the faculty and challenges all of us to continue learning. So very much embodies that lifelong learning mentality. And now I will offer her message. So welcome to our celebration of your lifelong learning accomplishments. We are delighted to have you here with us. We cannot underestimate the importance of engaging in lifelong learning throughout our professional and personal lives. Things change around us that we need to adapt to. There are technological advancements, economic shifts, and societal changes that can present us with challenges, but that can also enhance our professional growth and career prospects. Lifelong learning is not just about our professional development. It can also contribute to our personal growth, intellectual stimulation, and self-fulfillment. It can also allow us to meet new people, and it can just be fun. I don't just talk about lifelong learning, I engage in it myself. I've pursued lifelong learning throughout my own life, but be it in the form of workshops, courses, certificates, or degrees. I've used lifelong learning to stay on top of trends in my field, to change fields, to position myself for promotions or new employment, to meet new people, to learn new skills, and just to have fun. Lifelong learning has enriched my life on so many levels. I would not be who I am today and where I am today without the lifelong learning I completed. Providing you with a superior lifelong learning experience is one of the top focus areas of the Faculty of Open Learning and Career Development. We are committed to providing you with an educational environment that goes above and beyond, ensuring that you receive the highest quality of education possible and achieve your lifelong learning goals. We also see it as our role to recognize and celebrate your efforts and accomplishments. We hope you enjoy today's celebration and recognition of your hard work, commitment, and lifelong learning. So thank you, Diane, for putting together those words. And yes, sorry you can't talk to deliver the message yourself, but feel well. And I think those words perfectly summed up our feelings. I think our feelings as a faculty. And yes, Terry, I agree, lovely words. All right. And now I'm really delighted to introduce and welcome and thank our guest speaker, Camille Dundas. Camille is joining us from Ontario. She is a colleague. I've so enjoyed working with her over the years. She is a racial equity consultant, as well as the instructor of our Foundations of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion course, a very popular course of ours that will soon be offered in French and is currently offered in English. So very excited for that. Camille, if you'll indulge me, I'll offer a bit of a background on you, and please fill in any blanks that I don't. So Camille is the co-founder and editor-in-chief of Canada's leading Black Canadian online magazine, byblacks.com. And in that role, she's won 2 National Ethnic Media Press Awards and a commendation from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. And prior to that, Camille spent 10 years as a TV news reporter and producer working on national shows for both CTV and CBC. And I know that she's doing a lot of work in this area in many different ways and runs her own company now. And so Camille, please feel free to offer us a little bit more background of things that I've missed, as well as perhaps some words for the group of graduates that we have here today.
Thank you so much, Mary Eleanor. Sorry, I thought I was coming on a lot later, but I'm happy to to dive in right now. Um, Thank you to the Dalhousie team for inviting me to share in this special moment with all of you. So congratulations. And not just congratulations on finishing your course, but I want to say congratulations on investing in yourself, because you really can never go wrong when you bet on you. Putting all our chips on ourselves is not something we are necessarily taught. We are taught to take the safe path, the well-worn path, even if it doesn't always feel right for us. For me, from an early age, though, I, for some reason, was constantly jumping off that path. My feet seemed to have a mind of their own. At 14 years old, I knew that the educational path set out before me wasn't working for me. And I'm grateful that I had a parent who was just as much of a risk taker as I was and supported me when I proposed a deviation from that path. So at age 14, I knew I wanted to pursue journalism. I knew what subjects were required of me to do well in order to pursue a journalism degree. But the education system I lived under demanded that I do well in 15 different subjects, half of which I was failing. I guess the point was to make you well-rounded or something, right? But I, at that age, had a laser-focused goal. So I went to my dad and I said, look, I don't need these subjects to get into the university program, the journalism program that I want. So I'm going to keep failing them so I can focus on the ones that I do need. That was me taking all my chips, not spreading them around, but taking all my chips and betting them on me. My father, he paused for only a few beats and said, yes. And I realize now that that was my first entry into the idea of investing in myself, into betting on myself, into trusting that I knew the way, even when the systems around me said otherwise. I knew that the career and life that I wanted to have required different kinds of learning and skills. And so while I was still in high school, I took on a nightly Spanish class at the Venezuelan embassy near my house. I walked to and from there at night. And when I got home, I read the Encyclopedia Britannicas my mom had laying around front to back. And when I got access to the internet for the first time and to online learning, my life and my commitment to education was literally never the same. I knew what was required of me was a dedication to curiosity. And I knew that my curiosity could never be satisfied alone from traditional learning sources, where everything is the same for everyone. We live in a world where nothing is the same, where change is the only constant. Technology, the way we live, the way we speak to each other is changing at an unprecedented rate. And the skills that we need to succeed are evolving just as quickly. That's why a commitment to lifelong learning is more important than ever before. I think that the most successful people in the world are those who are constantly seeking out new knowledge, developing new skills, and adapting to change. But here's the thing, that type of learning, lifelong learning, it's not easy. It actually requires us to step outside of our comfort zones and challenge ourselves. It asks us to be vulnerable in acknowledging that we don't know everything. It requires us to invest time and energy into our own humility. And so it's easy to get stuck in our comfort zones and resist change. It's easy to say, well, I'm too busy or I'm too old to learn something new. But the truth is, we're never really too busy or too old, or we just have to make it a priority. And these are some ways that I weave this priority into my life. First, I set goals for myself. I think, what is it that I want to learn? What skills do I want to develop? And I write them down, and I do one thing each day that gets me to that goal. And I like setting goals because I can say I can evaluate myself and say, is what you're doing today, is what you're doing right now taking you one step closer to that goal or not? And it makes it really easy to say no to things, right? Second, I actively seek out opportunities to learn, whether it's taking a class, attending a workshop, reading a book on a topic I want to learn more about. I can't tell you the number of unfinished books I have on my shelves. And I also seize the opportunity in the most simplest or mundane parts of life to learn. If you have children or if you've been around children, you'll know that it's so easy to talk above and over our children and to tell them what to do. But it's a little harder to stop and take lessons from them. And I challenge myself all the time to take lessons from my children, or any children around me. And then third, I surround myself with people who inspire me, whether it's specific friends or family, colleagues, in person and online, or whether it's joining a community of learners or attending conferences or events where I can connect with like-minded people. I was listening to an interview on the radio in the car yesterday, um, and it's I'm trying to remember the name of this. There's this woman was talking about carpet weaving, and she was talking about how she just took it up kind of as a hobby and how it engulfed her life because of the community that she found. And it was just something so simple that she said was the repetition of like the hand over hand movement and the stillness and quietness that comes over even when a group of people are together. And I think there's just so much to learn in little moments of life. And I thought to myself, I wonder how that changed her life and what she learned from just that simple practice. I know how hard it is to balance all of those things. And that's why all of you deserve every bit of congratulations today, because you invested that time and energy. You bet on yourself. You pushed through. You kept going even when you fell asleep on your laptop. You kept going even when the kids were jumping up and down while you were on one of your classes, even though all you wanted to do was down a very large glass of wine and go to bed. Okay, maybe you did have that large glass of wine, but you got back up the next day and you kept going because you knew that you were worth it. And now that you know that you can push through, what do you do with that strength? What will you do with that new self-knowledge? Will you be a passive learner, someone who collects knowledge points and files them away? Or will you decide to be a producer, using your skills to come up with inclusive ideas that could change the way we live and work? Will you be a bystander or will you be an agent of change? And once you decide to be an agent of change, everything looks different. Once you wake up to realizing that you don't have to accept the status quo, you don't have to accept the systems that have been in place for hundreds of years, you start to question the definition of things. And as you go out into the world and start asking those questions and start pushing back against systems that or processes that don't make sense, the creators of those systems will push back against you too. Who are you to question the system? Who are you to want to do things differently? Who are you to ask why? And so being an agent of change can be lonely, can be terrifying, can be painful. But transformation doesn't come without pain. Nothing does. A friend of mine who's a playwright, she posted a great reminder the other day. She reminded me that a grape has to be crushed to make wine. An olive is pressed to release oil. and a diamond only forms under extreme pressure. Seeds grow in darkness. So whenever we feel crushed under pressure or in darkness, we have to remember that we're in a powerful place of transformation. We have to remember that our breakthrough is right around the corner. Your moment of change is right within your grasp if you hold on and never give up. And holding on doesn't mean you never fall down. It doesn't mean you never break down. It doesn't mean you never feel hopeless. It doesn't mean you're always strong. It just means you decide to get back up. You don't always have to be the strong one, but you do always have to get back up. And I learned something important from a friend of mine who's a mental health advocate. She says being strong isn't about how much you can carry. It's about how much you're willing to put down. Because you can't carry everything. You can't carry everyone. So what will you decide to put down? What will you let go of in order to protect your mental strength? Only you can decide what that looks like in your life. It might mean letting go of toxic friendships, family members, jobs. But it is important to take our knowledge, take it and live in the world with it. That means talk to people, share with people, actively try to understand different points of views and life experiences that you don't know anything about. And understand that just because something hasn't happened to you doesn't mean it's not real. Understand that real is relative and that each of us has our own personal reality. And the only way to respect that is through genuine discussion, exchange of ideas with empathy and respect. When I was growing up, I would always hear people say, you only get one chance. But I don't believe that. Every single day that you're alive, you get a chance to be great, a chance to be kind, a chance to expand your mind, to change the future, a chance to shift your reality. And am I always this optimistic? No, I'm not. To be honest, the last few months have been really hard. Most days I'm not great, but I am grateful because I'm living. I'm living in the world, and someone, somewhere has been impacted because of my choice to live. My choice to live in the world boldly, fearlessly, with unshakable confidence. I want to ask something of you. I want you to actively try to let go of the pressure to learn new things or improve your life with an aim to please the people around you. I want to ask you to pursue all of your goals with the sole intention to do good, important work. We need you. Your community needs your voice, and needs you to create space for voices that are being systemically oppressed. The world, it's heavy, but it's not yours alone to carry. So remember to find joy wherever you can. Using your voice as a creator of change brings great reward, but it also comes with great responsibility. So commit to excellence every day in everything you do. Do good work and say yes to every chance to do good work. Thank you for having me.
And just for your thoughtfulness, for the sincerity that you bring. And gosh, just thank you. So many kind words shared in the chat here. Very inspiring. And so many wonderful things that people can do throughout their lives. We're very grateful at the faculty that people have chosen to have us as part of their lifelong learning story, and hope that perhaps a little later in our agenda we'll have an opportunity to hear from some people who've completed certificates with us and share a little bit about what drew them to their certificates and what they're doing with it now. So thank you for being here. So I'd like to offer just an opportunity to present some words as well as some video messages from some of our learners, some who are with us, and also those who wanted to share a video message who weren't able to be with us today. And so I will go ahead and share some of those. Just bear with me a moment. And I agree with all that's being shared in the chat here. Such beautiful words from Camille. I agree. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of these messages, and then I'll also ask those who are joining us. You might notice that all of us are muted currently. What I'd love to do is give everyone, just fill up our Zoom space with everyone who's joining us today. There are just over 40 people with us, and all offer you the opportunity to perhaps speak, to raise your hand, and we'll just have an opportunity to kind of share. So this is Sherry, and Sherry provided us with this message. So Sherry took counseling skills level 1 in December 2019, and then continued on and completed the Advanced Adult Ed certificate in January 2023 and the certificate in Equity, Diversity, Inclusion in March of this year. With working and raising a family, it was important to have the flexibility to work at my pace and online. I'm sure there are those joining us who would agree. And Sherry goes on to say that she's gained a sense of self-confidence that she didn't have before. And she's moved into a role with the Nova Scotia Department of Community Services. And the courses that she's taken at DAL gave her the skill set needed to take on, to be successful in this role. So just congratulations to Sherry, and thank her for sharing this with us. Okay, and I know Terry's with us today, so I'll read Terry's words, and thank you for providing them. So Terry completed the Adult Learning Fundamentals Certificate, and it's equipped her with a comprehensive understanding of adult learning principles and techniques, and empowered her to excel in her role as an adult educator with the province of Nova Scotia. And she's had the opportunity to do some work with us and is currently doing some work with us, and we're delighted to have her with us. The in-depth knowledge gained through the certificate has not only enhanced her instructional capabilities, but also enabled her to tailor her skills to better resonate with diverse adult learners. This certificate has provided her with opportunities she never thought possible a few years ago. It's been instrumental in shaping her career trajectory, allowing her to make a meaningful difference in the lives of adult learners and continually advancing her own professional growth. Thanks, Terry, for sharing that with us. Really appreciate it. And here we have Vanessa Jackson. So Vanessa gave us a little bit of background on her. Having the certificate in project management opened the door for her to be the project manager on the Inclusive Pathways to Medical Professions project with the Medical Sciences Department at Dalhousie. IPMP is a cohort initiative that accepts 20 additional students, 10 African Nova Scotian, Black, and 10 Indigenous students to the medical sciences program through a holistic admissions process and provides wraparound supports for each cohort. I'm happy to say that I secured a new position as the African Nova Scotian cohort advisor for medical sciences. And that's wonderful, Vanessa, and thanks for sharing your experience with us. Okay. And I believe Mario is with us, and I will share what he's offered on the presentation here. So thanks to the strategic alliance between Dalhousie University's Faculty of Open Learning and Career Development and the Catholic University, I've been able to successfully complete the Professional Development Certificate in English Medium Instruction in March 2022. It was a great step for both institutions to allow us to successfully implement everything we have learned in our classes. I'm glad that that was such a positive experience for you, Mario. Thank you for sharing that. Now we have a short video from Tammy Mercier, and I'll let her share her message.
Hello, everybody. It's Tammy Mercier talking to you from Atlantic Central. I work with all the credit unions in Atlantic Canada. I am their manager of member experience and sales training. I can honestly tell you that taking the adult education certificate program that was in person way back at the start of COVID or during COVID has changed my entire career. I have now facilitated over 300 live sessions. I designed an entire training program being delivered to over 41 credit unions in all 4 regions of Canada. And it has changed my entire outlook and career. I love what I do. I enjoy what I do. And the program has definitely given me the skills, credibility, and experience needed to thrive. I recommend you just go and take it if you feel like doing something new.
Awesome. Thank you, Tammy. What a great message.
Hello, everybody.
Oops.
It's Tammy Mercier.
And now our final message, which is from Laura, that I'll share here.
Hello, my name is Laura Herrera, and I completed the certificate English Medium of Instruction in 2021. Taking part in the certificate in EMI through content and language integrated learning approach, also known as CLIL, has been an unforgettable experience. It provided me with a transformative journey that went beyond traditional language and subject teaching methods. The CLIL methodology empowered me to integrate language and content knowledge, fostering meaningful language acquisition, collaborative learning, and global competence. Thank you.
That's wonderful. I just wanted to share those video and text messages from some of our learners. And thank you to all of them for offering their contributions to today. And in saying that, I would also welcome, I know that Valeria has been in touch with a few of you, but certainly would welcome, this is the time for us to unmute ourselves, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. And really just, if you wish, raise your hand. I'd love to hear of your experiences, whether you're an instructor or someone at the faculty, would just love to engage in conversation. All right. So Helen, you are here.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, there you are. Yes, Helen, please feel free to unmute yourself. I'm sorry about that. I think maybe I muted you, but you go ahead.
How about now?
There, that's perfect.
Oh, hi, everyone. And I just want to say congratulations to everyone, first of all. And I also want to say I apologize in advance if you hear my dogs barking. So recently I completed my certificate in adult education. And because I instruct some certificate courses for continuing care, I thought this would be a really fitting opportunity for me. This course really helped me and the clients that I serve. I learned new ways to teach. So another thing is, whether in the classroom setting or online, I require certain things to be successful. And one of those things is me feeling safe in the environment, having anxiety. I don't do well when I'm being put on the spot. So, and also it's important that it be recognized that I come to the table with lots of life experience. At Dell, the journey leading up to the certificate was a very enjoyable learning experience. I felt safe. I was recognized as having lots of life skills. Therefore, I absorbed what I was taught and eagerly answered questions. So a big shout out to the instructors who displayed a high level of professionalism. They were very kind, knowledgeable, and understanding. Their soft skills were beautiful and something that certainly cannot be taught. A platform, it was very easy to navigate, so kudos to IT. And finally, I am 58 years old, and I'm really stepping out of my comfort zone by pursuing my personal and career goals. I'm now tracking from LPN to RN. And I feel that taking this course gave me the encouragement and the confidence that I need to continue my lifelong learning. So who knows where it'll take me, but I want to say a heartfelt thank you to faculty and staff and all of the students that were online with me, because I learned a lot from them as well. So thank you, everyone.
That's wonderful, Helen. Thank you so much for sharing that. Really appreciate it. Yeah, that's wonderful. And I noticed there are a few other hands here. Thank you. So Terry, do you want to, you're the next
Sure.
hand. Do you want to
Can
share?
you hear me okay?
Yes, and if you can, not sure if you can share a video, your video, if you certainly can.
I don't seem to have that option, I don't think.
Okay, no problem. All right,
Yeah.
so yes, over
But
to
if you
you.
can get that figured out, then you go right ahead, because I have my
Sure.
pug on my lap. So I'm sure some people would probably really like to see that.
Yes, okay. No,
But that's okay, I'll keep going. So hi, everybody. My name is Terry Mosier. I work as an organizational development consultant with the Public Service Commission in Nova Scotia government. So that's basically the HR department of government. I really started this journey probably about 3 or 4 years ago when we had some restructuring done at our department. And I went down to our organizational development department where, I would continue to do some of the things that I was doing, which was, process facilitation, but also there was this other component, and I had the facilitation experience, but there was this other component of like designing programs and training, that, I really needed to know in order to move forward in this new role. And also I needed the foundational, education around adult education as well. So, I got to work and I started to research what was out there in terms of certificate programs. And I'm so glad that I came across the adult education certificate that is offered by Open Learning and Career Development. That I mentioned it in the bio that I said, but it really did change the trajectory of my career. And I feel like I'm not the only person who has said that today. I have gone from, doing a lot of program management to facilitation, process facilitation, and adult education. And I really do love this stage of my career. And I meant it really when I said, like 3 years ago, I never would have thought in a million years that I would be in this role and loving it as much as I do and excelling in it, really. And I really do have that certificate to thank. And honest to God, I use pieces of my certificate almost daily, right down to the theory around, the instructional design courses that we took, the program design courses that we took, the ED&I component with Crystal and Ebony Consulting. Oh my gosh, that was one of the best courses I've ever taken. So, I had learned so much, and I use pieces of that certificate every day almost. And in addition to that, as Mary Eleanor mentioned, I've also been doing some work with Open Learning and Career Development, which I've just loved. It's, again, something that, I never in a million years would have thought that I would have been doing, but it's so much fun. I really enjoy it. And I would have to agree, Kim mentioned earlier that, it's such a great faculty and team to be around. And I have to say, this team is truly committed to empowering learners. They really are. And they do that really through these programs and through these unique and innovative learning solutions that they're providing their learners. And I really, again, can't thank you folks enough for what you've done and the program. And I'm just tickled pink with it. So thanks again.
I love that. Thanks, Terry. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's just wonderful. I'm so glad. And I'm sorry, I want people to be able to share their videos. So I am just looking to troubleshoot that, but definitely want to see your pug if I can I can figure that out.
Well, if you can, I'll give you the rain check.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Very good. Okay, Kim, you have your hand raised. Would love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to send greetings to everyone. Being retired since January, so not seeing a lot of folks now, but didn't want to miss the opportunity to be here as the former registration officer for the adult ed program. I saw that a number of our adult ed students were going to be here today. It's really exciting to hear everyone's stories of where you're going and what you're doing. My own personal story with regards to the certificate in adult ed started back, I graduated from Dal with the Bachelor of Arts in '84. And back then I wanted to teach adults, and no one at that time seemed to be able to tell me how to do that. And so it was 10 years later, when I was working at the registrar's office, that I found out about what was then Henson College's certificate in adult education. So I completed that program and was so inspired by that. I thought to myself, if I ever get an opportunity to work in a department, I would love to work at what was then Henson College. And so then fast forward to 2004, I had the opportunity. And all of it was classroom delivery, obviously, up until our lovely COVID. But it's been amazing seeing all the new things that have happened since we've been primarily online, and just hearing all the stories of how the whole online delivery has worked. Worked with great colleagues, Susanna Burns, who was originally with the program back then, and Dawn Walker, her hard work, all the behind the scenes things that make everything come together, and Erin Careless. And so, and just all of the getting ready for the equity and diversity with Camille and all that entailed with the many students that we had. Just really excited to be part of that whole process back when I worked in prep, working with our mature students. And so seeing Helen's story today, Helen, you will do great things. And we were very inspired with one of our former students, Dennis Beauchamp, who's gone on to do amazing things. So just really, really excited for everyone, and glad for the small role that I got to play the 18 years that I worked at the department. Take care.
Thank you, Kim. That's lovely. Really appreciate. And Kim was just so integral, just the central cog in the wheel for the faculty for so many years. No, it was not a small role at all. And Kim is enjoying retirement. We're very happy that she is. Any others who wish to share their stories? I welcome other people to raise their hands. I see Helen and Kim still have their hands raised. Stephen, I'm going to promote you to a panelist. I think I now have this figured out. I think you might be able to. Thank you, Jeff, for offering that tip. So I think Stephen might be able to, oh, maybe yeah, so Stephen, I think you can unmute yourself and turn on your video.
It says I can't start my video.
Okay, let me just, okay. There. You should be able to.
Oh, there
There
we
you
go.
are. Okay, I will do the same for you, Terry. So you can show us your sweet animal just in a moment. And over to you, Stephen. Thank you.
So I took the certificate in local government administration with the human resources concentration. So I spent better part of 18 years doing enforcement. So then I moved over to administration. So I wanted more knowledge in the administration side and how local government works. So I came across the Dalhousie one, and that's what started my certificates. Can't say enough about the program. It was a great learning experience. I enjoyed all the facilitators and the support staff in open learning. They're all very helpful, figuring I haven't done school in about 20 years. So getting back into it was a culture shock for me. One of the side effects that I really enjoyed about it was before I started, I was hesitant about writing essays and things like that because I haven't done it for so long. But because I write council reports, what ended up happening was, as I was going through this certificate, I found that my report writing for council actually got better. So it helped me in other aspects of my job beyond what I initially thought I was going to do. And I enjoyed it so much, I'm actually going to be taking the business management certificate this fall. I just can't say enough, but yes, thank you.
And wonderful that you'll be continuing to learn with us in the fall. And yes, and just congratulations from Jennifer here, who's part of our faculty. And I love the idea that of those unexpected ways that learning kind of shows up. You expect to use it in a certain way, but then there are surprises in terms of other things that you can do with your learning. So I love that as well. And Michael, I'd love for you to also share your experience, and you should be able to share your video there if you wish.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Hi.
Hey there.
Hi. Yes, over to you.
Okay, so basically my story started about 5 years ago. I was working at a job that I've been doing for 12 years, and went to endless job interviews, never seemed to get anywhere. So then I asked my brother, I said, I'm gonna get tired of my career. And he said, I think you'd be great at it as a home inspector. So I didn't know too much about it at the time. I knew, I had a home inspector in my house, but that's about it. I knew nothing about the industry. And, I kind of searched the internet and I saw that Dalhousie had a program for home inspection. And I emailed the instructor and she, the director, and she was absolutely fantastic, answered all my questions. And, I said, I'll take a couple courses, see if I like it. And, if not, it'll help me in my career because I work in building services. And I did that. And, as you can see from my shirt, and I have my own home inspection company. So, one of the big things I can say about Dalhousie is that not only were the people I work with fantastic, but the knowledge I gained meant that I could hit the ground running right away. Home inspection is one of those things that's been notoriously difficult to get started on. And because of the knowledge I received from Dalhousie, I was able to pretty much start right away and start my own company. Didn't need to go do any kind of mentorship or anything like that. I'd be lying if I said the industry is doing great, because it's not. It's been a rough couple of years because of COVID, but the important thing is I've been growing every year, and I have a solid foundation for when the market picks up, I'm ready to hit the ground running. And like I said, I got my new shirts here. They look fantastic, look professional. And other than that, yeah, like I said, highly recommend going to Dalhousie. And for a further note, I also joined the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors. So I did their program. And normally it takes a few months, but because of the knowledge I gained through Dalhousie, I was able to do it in 9 days. So I was able to kind of speed through it because the education I received at Dalhousie was fantastic and first class all the way. So very glad I did it. And I appreciate it. Thanks for everything you guys have done for me.
That's awesome. Thanks, Michael. Really appreciate you sharing it. And you're on the bus, no less. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, thank you. And congratulations on setting up your own business. And so pleased that really this certificate was the runway that you needed to really just create your own business. And congratulations to you. That's great. Fantastic. And Jennifer, I'm just going to make you a co-host here. Jennifer, feel free to unmute yourself. I think you can share your video as well. Would love to hear your thoughts.
Hi, everyone. I will keep my video off, but I just wanted to join and offer some congratulations. So I am the director of the Department of English Language Studies and University Access. And I know we have several people joining our ceremony today who completed the certificate in English medium instruction within the last few years. And so I wanted to just offer a huge congratulations to Claudia, Mario, Paula, Lauda, and if there's anyone else, Daniel, who completed the certificate in English medium instruction. If there's anyone else on the call who I haven't mentioned, please say hello in the chat. This certificate is really such a wonderful example of cross-cultural learning. Yolima, congratulations. Brian, David, Anna. Oh, wow, we have lots of folks here, EMI people on the call. This certificate is such a wonderful example of intercultural learning, of plurilingual learning, people studying in an additional language and learning how to push themselves, develop their teaching practice to make their classrooms more international and to improve learning outcomes and intercultural competencies with their learners. So wanted to recognize this, say a big congratulations once again, and we can't wait to hear about the stories of how you're putting this training to use in your classrooms around the world. We have people here from Chile, from Paraguay, from Colombia, and we're just so proud of you all. So congratulations once again.
Thank you, Jennifer. Really appreciate that. And so delighted that so many people, so many different learners, so many different certificates are represented here, so many different geographies, and we're just so thrilled that you all took the time to be here today. So thank you for that. Okay, and Lauren, please feel free to unmute yourself and share a bit. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I want to thank the faculty for making this event possible. It's really appreciated to participate in such a group of people and be recognized for achievement. And also congratulations to everybody who has taken part in the continuing education programs throughout the years. I started on my journey with the faculty in 2018, completing a course in adult education. In 2019, it was an in-class program. I did an advanced certificate in adult learning in, June of 2022, and just finished the EDI program in March of 2023. I found all the experiences very rewarding, academically very rewarding, emotionally. I have a special enjoyment and special satisfaction with the EDI program I just completed. It caused me to pause and do some internal reflection, and it's helping me become a better person, better man. I always promote the college of open learning to my friends and my work colleagues as a way to better expand your learning, better expand your outlook on life. I'm on the downward slope to retirement now, and in 3 years I will be retired. And I've just signed up for my 4th program in project management, and I'm looking forward to the new adventures and new possibilities that will open up for me post-retirement. So thank you so much for arranging this today, and I'm so energized by the program and highly recommend it to anyone who would want to do this as a way to continue on that lifelong learning adventure.
Thank you, Lauren. Such a wonderful endorsement. My goodness, your 4th certificate. That's tremendous. And just kudos to you for making the time, for committing the time, the resources, the energy to your lifelong learning. And that's awesome. I'll be interested to hear what you can do with your project management certificate post-retirement. That's awesome. And also sounds rather exhausting, but I'm sure that being a lifelong learner, you might also find yourself being a bit of a lifelong worker, maybe. And that's fantastic. And Terry, I will, now that I have my colleagues helping me, I'm wondering if you might be able to unmute yourself and show your video again, perhaps. if you're still there, let me there.
Still here. It says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
Oh, no, you. Yeah,
Let's try
you.
this again. Oh, there we go.
There you are.
There we go. Here, say hi to Gizmo, everybody. He's like,
Oh
what the
my
heck? I
goodness,
was just
look at
sleeping.
that.
Hi.
Cover.
Can you say hi? This is Gizmo. He says I's a year old. Say hi, everybody.
That's great. Thanks, Terry. And sorry for
worries.
not being able to turn on your video there, but
Quite all right. I'm on Zoom 8 hours a day, so
there you go. Looking at yourself all the
Yeah.
time. That's wonderful. Thanks, Terry, for doing that. Is anyone
You're
else
welcome.
want to raise their hands and share? Just I know that we're just 1 minute past our time, but it's been so wonderful hearing all of your stories and just so heartened by all of your experiences. Feel free to raise your hands if you wish. And thank you for adding in all of the certificates that you completed in the chat as well. I agree, Erin. So just want to recognize, so Erin Careless is one of our program directors and at the faculty, and just want to take a moment and recognize so many of the directors, instructors, program managers, just a whole wide range of roles at the faculty that are represented here, and just really want to celebrate and congratulate all of my colleagues, and hope that and trust that as I am experiencing just that joy and pride in the work that we do, reflected through these stories today and through people's experiences. So really just want to recognize all of the people on the call here who do the work that allow people to learn and change their lives in these ways. So thank you. And with that, I do want to wrap us up, but before I do, I have two housekeeping notes. And the first is that we were able to, for a lot of those on the call and perhaps those we still need to follow up with, but just there may have been a delivery to your home. And if that delivery has not arrived, I would encourage you to reach out to Valeria. Valeria, I'll add Valeria's email address here, and you can reach out to her directly and she can follow up on that. So if you did not receive a delivery, please reach out to Valeria directly. And then also, I just want to ask that as you sign out of today's event, you will be prompted to complete a very short survey. We would love to know how and if you enjoyed today's gathering. It's been a long time since we've been able to recognize our learners in this way. So would really appreciate your feedback. Also just want to open it up to Valeria in the boardroom, any of those in the boardroom, for any pieces that I've missed before we say goodbye to everyone. So Tony, would you be able to unmute, or we're?
Oh, hi, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. I met you through the telephone with, I guess, every one of you. It was very nice and very inspiring for me and for all my colleagues to hear your stories. And I'm really happy to be here, and I'll be here if you require anything from me, from the boxes or also from the survey. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Valeria. Thanks so much. And just want to again recognize Valeria and all of her efforts in pulling this together. And Dawn, I see you're there. Dawn Spicer, another one of our instructors. Thank you for being here. And with that, everyone, thank you. Thank you for investing in the faculty, investing in yourselves. Thank you to Camille for speaking. Thank you to Dr. Brooks, to Dr. Kim Brooks for speaking. Thank you, Diane, for offering your messages. I hope you're feeling better soon. And we hope that you'll continue to learn. Just thank you for inspiring us to continue to do great work. And have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And take care.
Thanks so much, Mary Eleanor and team.
All right, take care, everyone. Thanks, Terry. Bye.